Hello, I am sitting down to do the Cursed Child tag created by Peter Clark, the writer. I was tagged by Strip Coverlet, and this is a tag specifically relating to the new Harry Potter play that came out recently, The Cursed Child. And there are 12 questions. Nope, there are 15 questions plus a bonus question relating to the play. I actually read the play a few days ago, less than a week ago. Yes, I'm going to do this tag. I apologize for so many tags in a row, but I can't do anything else today. So I've got the questions pulled up here, and I've got quite appropriately some notes written in my Slytherin journal. But anyway, the questions. Question 1, Time Turner. If you could go back in time and change something from your past, what would it be? Well, I could go back in time to high school and convince myself to take French when it's no longer mandatory in Ontario, where I went to school, a public school system. French was mandatory from grade 1 to grade 9. Stupidly, I hated French and didn't take it after grade 9. If I had taken it throughout the rest of high school, then perhaps I would actually be semi-able to speak it. And it would be a great asset to my future career. Alternatively, I could also go back in time and go back to December 22nd, 2009 at approximately 9 p.m. and prevent myself from stepping out in front of a car. That would be good. Anyway, question 2, Godric's Hollow. If you had to be stuck in another time period, which one would you choose? Another period, I can't really say that I would want to go back in time. The farther back I go, the shittier it gets to be a woman, the less independence I have. I certainly wouldn't want to go back more than about 100 years, because then I wouldn't be able to even vote. But if I absolutely had to choose to go back in time to some other era, I would choose 1967. Perhaps I would go back to July 1st, 1967 in Ottawa, or perhaps just 1967 and head over to Montreal for the Expo 67. Have some fun, check that out. Try not to get blown up by an FLQ mailbox bomb. 60s, fun time. Question 3, Harry's parenting skills. Do you get along with your parents? Do you think you would make a good parent or not? For the most part, we get along. I can't say for sure whether I would make a good parent, but I'd like to think that I would. I'm afraid that if I ever have children, I'm going to have too high expectations for them. Question 4, Moldy Blanket. A gift someone gave you that you immediately wanted to give back. It took me a while to think of something for this question. I don't get a lot of gifts. When I get a gift, I'm just happy that they even thought of me. But one year, my parents did get me a self-help book for Christmas, and I felt rather insulted, and I wanted to give that back right away. Question 5, for Minister of Magic, what is your dream job and are you pursuing it? I don't know what my dream job is, but yes, I'm pursuing it, whatever it is. Question 6, Ron's Gut. What's your favorite food that's covered in gravy? The most obvious answer for this is the one that Dalton also chose, poutine. But let's face it, I like pretty much anything smothered in gravy. So I could also choose mashed potatoes, biscuits, and gravy, turkey and gravy, hot hamburger. But to make it easy, I'm just going to go with poutine, but a very specific poutine. The campus where I did my undergrad had an amazing little diner in the basement of one of the arts buildings. Tim Hortons in there too. There were like 6 Tim Hortons on my campus. But anyway, there was this diner and they served poutine, and you could get a classic poutine. There was a butter chicken poutine, and then my favorite, a pulled pork poutine, crispy French fries, pulled pork, cheese curds, and some very crunchy French fried onions on top, and it was delicious, and I am going to miss that. Question 7, Draco's Redemption. Have you changed your opinion of someone as you got to know them? Of course, who hasn't? Question 8, Paint and Memory. What's a painting that talks to you? First painting that came to mind was Wheatfield with Crows. This is a Van Gogh painting, and I know someone's going to get on me for that pronunciation, but that's how I've always pronounced it, and I'm going to stick with that pronunciation. This is a painting that I first became familiar with when I was about 10 or 11. I did a lot of drawing, a lot of painting, a lot of pastels as a kid, and I think when I was about 12, I did a fairly decent reproduction of this painting because I felt that it spoke to me, and it still does. Question 9, Northwesteros. Would you mind being the cursed child of celebrity, having to always live in their shadow? Probably not. I wouldn't mind being in the shadow of a parent, at least if I had a famous parent, I would be able to say that I have a family legacy to draw from, an example to follow. Question 10. Scarring flashbacks. Which of Harry's flashbacks that were rudely interrupted by Voldemort did you enjoy revisiting the most? I don't actually have a favorite because my favorite Harry Potter moments weren't really included in the play, in those flashbacks. Question 11. Saving Cedric. If you could save one Harry Potter character from their awful fate, who would it be? Snape, of course. Question 12. A lot to live up to. Out of Rose, James, Lily, Albus, and Scorpius, who are you the most like? I would like to be able to say Rose because obviously her name is Rose. I love roses. My middle name is Rose. But unfortunately, I am not very much like Rose at all. I think I would have to go with Scorpius. Question 13. Shy Scorpius, a time in your life when you were unsure of yourself. How about every day? Question 14. Angsty Albus. The cursed child has divided many fans, as Albus is divided with many aspects of his life. Did you like or dislike the cursed child, and what's the main reason for your answer? I liked it. I didn't love it. I read it all in one sitting mostly. I started maybe around 10:30 or 11 at night, read straight through until I was done. I don't have the same kind of attachment that a lot of people my age would have to these books. In my household growing up, I was not allowed to read the Harry Potter books. I was not allowed to see the movies. It was actually only 4 years ago, right before I started university, that I binge watched the movies in about 3 or 4 days and then proceeded to binge read the books over the period of about 2 or 3 weeks. But I did enjoy this. It kind of picked up where the final book left off. You find out what happens to the main characters after the final book ends, after the final novel ends. You get a glimpse of their children, you get a glimpse of what the world is like after this massive war, and you get a glimpse of the continued strain, the continued potential for destruction and for evil that still exists even after this massive battle has been won, even after Voldemort has been defeated. The main thing I didn't like about this book was the time travel aspect. I am not a fan of time travel in books. I am not a fan of this time turner concept. There is a reason that Prisoner of Azkaban is my least favorite Harry Potter book, and I know that is not a popular opinion, but yeah, it was a decent book. Question 15, Epilogue. Do you want Harry Potter's story to still continue on somehow? As I said, I do not have a deep connection to these books. I enjoyed them. I enjoy the stories. I enjoyed reading this play, but I am neutral. I'm not invested. If more material is produced, I will probably read it, but I am not waiting on edge for it. I will not reject it if it appears. And finally, the bonus question. Are you the son/daughter of the Dark Lord? Am I the daughter of the Dark Lord? Probably. But anyway, that has been the Cursed Child tag, and once again I have sat down to film a tag and I have not created a list of people to tag. So if you are watching this and you want to do this, consider yourself tagged, and I should have been better prepared, but it has been a day.